Hi, I'm Neil, and I'm currently living in Taipei, Taiwan.
Hi, I'm Simon De La Riviere, and I currently live in Stellenbosch, South Africa.
We are twins, and we like to discuss tech topics. We each episode we discuss two topics. I choose one, Simon chooses one, but we keep the topics hidden until we film the show.
And this is Twin Tech Talk.
Okay.
Rock, paper, scissors. It is. Okay.
Yes. Draw.
Okay.
It's a draw.
Okay. Did it?
No, not again. I had
Okay.
rock.
Okay.
Okay.
So, just to explain, we're sort of changing the tech talks up a bit. We're trying to make it a bit more, make it maybe a bit more shorter and more concise, and adding a sort of more question and answer component, so that if there are people that want to contribute their answers or ideas, they can do it in the comments on the blog posts. So
Or on YouTube or whatever.
on YouTube or wherever. So I'm gonna come with a question that I have to answer, and think what I think about it, and then the other person has to give their answer, and then a sort of more informal discussion follows afterwards. So
Yeah.
my question is, do you think Snapchat has a clear future? Do you think it will survive in the long term? Or is it just a fad or a trend at the moment? So, for those who don't know, Snapchat is an app that got popular at the end of last year, where you communicate through the usage of what they call snaps. It now includes not only photos, but videos as well. And the idea is that you communicate through just posting a photo to someone else or a group, and then it disappears in your time frame of 1 to 10 seconds that you choose, right? So it's
just a question. I haven't used Snapchat before. The self-destruct, does it happen when you open it, or does it actually just
How it
get
works?
destroyed once the message is sent?
It says you have a snap ready, and then you press it. It loads the photo right in the background, and then once you want to see it, you press your thumb, and if you hold it, then the ticker starts going, right? So if someone sent you
Okay.
something, you don't have to rush to your phone to see it before it disappears.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay.
So
That makes sense.
it's gotten really popular in sort of the teen demographic. They say on the Wikipedia it's between 13 and 25, and surprisingly, people older than 40 are starting to use it as well. And there was a recent article that I read that it's gotten very popular at Yale, for example, so universities, right? And it's gotten sort of this stigma thing that's basically a sexting app, right? Because it lowers the inhibition.
Yeah.
You can send things and it will disappear, and no one will know about it. There's no chance that things get kept or that way. It's sort of because the communication so ephemeral. It just works better, right? For that kind of lubrication, for that kind of communication. Lubrication. Okay, so my feeling towards it, right? It's a trend, right? It's partly part of a trend, but I think it might have actually a long future. The reason why I say it's a trend is because it's sort of a backlash against the sort of Facebook and era of social networking where you have this defined identity online. Like, you are this person, this is who you portray to be. Photos are kept, comments are kept, everything is kept. You are what you said for the past 5 years on Facebook. You are what you said on the past few years on Twitter.
Yeah.
And it's sort of privacy issues relating to stuff like that. And you can now see that, oh, well, I've changed the past 4 years on Facebook. I don't necessarily want these old photos to represent me anymore. So it's sort of natural communication and natural interaction with people before the internet was it was ephemeral, right? People changed over
Yeah.
the time. Their identity wasn't digitized and stored.
And photos, and any sort of incriminating photos ever was sort of stored away in your cupboards. At least seen once in a while when you want to reminisce,
Exactly.
kind of thing.
So I think it recently sealed a massive funding round, like $13 million, right? And
wow.
Okay, so I think
Okay.
the idea of Snapchat is really good. Like I really appreciate the fact that it's ephemeral. The communications it disappears and so on. So I think that feature itself has value, and it will be the reason why it will continue. But you can see now exactly the user privacy issues and stuff why Facebook Poke didn't succeed, right? Because Facebook Poke was the copycat of Snapchat, but it was like, guys, you realize that Snapchat was partly invented because it was a backlash against not being tied to Facebook or an identity.
Yeah.
So, but I still worry about the long-term future of Snapchat. I mean, at the moment, it's strange, or I have no idea at all how they're gonna monetize it. Like, I can only imagine, perhaps. Like,
you can go.
Like, let's go the intrusive way and just pressing hold and oh shit, okay, I have to wait for the ad to pass and then you can actually do the photo.
Exactly.
That's horrible for user experience. But I mean, I had no idea how they're gonna monetize it. But it's a really successful app. It's doing really well, and I think there is value in that sort of ephemeral communication, right? So, what is your opinion? What do you think? I think it boils down to it boils down to two questions. Is this a trend? If so, yes. Then explain why. Or is there value in having sort of a place where communication is only ephemeral, right? It's like Snapchat. So.
Okay, I think they I definitely agree with the fact that I think it is a bit of a trend happening in that sense, mostly because of how permanent online lives are, and mostly is. Like, if I have a blog post, I can still search stuff from what I posted on forums from 10 years ago.
Those posts are still there.
It's very permanent. Yes, exactly. Yes, yes, and it's embarrassing sometimes, but. What I do feel is that in terms of like the same thing that happened with sometimes there are what I mean by the trend, which I feel is that sort of like you can say it's a backslash, but not really. But it's more sort of like an adaptation to the permanence. Is like, for instance, chat roulette had the same kind of like immediacy, and it's not necessarily.
There's no commitment to any sort of relationship with the communication, right?
It's just
a good example of how that sort of failed is with Airtime when they brought in the social graph, right? And then it's sort of like
exactly. See, there's a certain, but I think the ephemeral kind of things that get added, it's fine. I really like that, and I'm really curious to see how people will add that to other forms of media in the future. Like maybe a band decides to release a song that is like 2 minutes long, and the only time we ever hear it is or when that thing is there, and then it gets destroyed.
I wonder if there are other opportunities for ephemeral expression.
Yes. But I think okay, let's put it this way. I agree with you. Snapchat's monetization is tricky, very tricky.
I mean, they can't at all go the traditional way of monetizing the user because there's literally no data they can use, or very, very, very little, right?
Yeah.
They don't have this treasure trove of stuff they can use to advertise. So advertising will probably be out of the question. Then I don't know what else.
Yeah. Yeah, like I feel something like Snapchat, because it's a very unique way of communicating at the moment. It's not like I am like WhatsApp or anything like that that has got inherent sustainability if it's big, right? Sort of a stronger momentum behind it. I feel Snapchat might have a bit of trouble going into the future
But see,
but then
I
again,
wonder about that.
I mean, let's put it this way. Let's put it this.
What I want to say, right?
Sorry, I just want to finish this.
Okay.
Okay, can I finish? I just want to finish
Yeah.
my thought. I want to say is that basically that Snapchat is a type of communication, but it's not a type of communication that you would want to talk with or use forever or in the long run, or it's not
No.
sustainable in that way.
No.
I don't want to communicate with Snapchat to everyone. Like, come quickly to my.
No, yeah, it's a different
I've got
form
this
of
meeting.
communication.
Ah,
It's
shit.
it's a different way of connecting and communicating.
Yeah. But maybe they've tapped into something that we haven't found before. Maybe that's where their
Good point. Good point.
uniqueness lies.
But what I wanted to say earlier is I think there might be some problems with the fact that the communication's ephemeral for Snapchat, which means that the communication itself doesn't lend itself to network effects, right? For Snapchat.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Snapchat still has a network effect because you still have to have people in contacts list that you add, right? So
yeah.
while communication ephemeral, which could be a problem for sustainability for the platform, you still have that network effect. So I mean, yeah, like you said, I didn't think about it that way. It is a new way of communicating that is might be hidden in that form.
But
new ways of monetization. I don't know.
Exactly. What I do think is like it's a new way of communicating with technology in that sense, because what the Snapchat, what I feel what it captures is those random brief moments where you see something interesting, or someone sends you a quick moment and then the moment is gone, and then your memory embellishes that memory greater than what the actual thing was that was digitized.
Very true.
And that aspect is something that is not present at the moment in forms of online communication. It's your memory helps. I mean, if you think of nights going out and Stellenbosch with your friends, and you remember these great stuff, but there's no memory of it in terms of a digital format. But you've got this idea that this was something great. But if you just recorded it, and it's like, oh wait, that's not as great as I remember it.
That's
and
true.
That idea is very strong.
That's also true the case with to use sort of like a related thing. Instagram sort of this, in a way, sort of the same idea in the sense that when using filters, you romanticize and the moment, right? It's not you try and express how that moment felt, but it's not a reflection of reality. It's a more exciting version of reality. It's a romanticization. So
yeah.
Yeah, it should be interesting to see. I'm really interested to see where it's going to go. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I wish my phone, my old HTC Desire can't use it, which is kind of surprising, which is really annoying. I really want to try it out.
Isn't there some way you could win a Galaxy S3 or something there in Taiwan? Or just go knock on HTC's door. I mean, they're right there.
Yeah. Do you have any sort of like ones that got scratched in the process and just want to throw away or something? Just cool. Yeah, no, I think Snapchat is I'm actually glad something like that got off the ground and people. It's a good thing. So I like it. Cool.